Welcome into Rogue Football. I'm your host, Jordan DeLugo. Thanks so much for tuning in here today. We have got our Saints 7-round mock draft. You might be able to see Murray here hanging out in the background with us. But we're diving into this 2024 Saints 7-round mock draft. Really excited to get into this one. The Saints are one of those teams in an interesting position. They're always just trying to retool and reload and compete, right? They never want to fully hit the reset button. And has that netted them a Super Bowl in recent years? No, but has it kept them competitive and interesting? Certainly, in the NFC South there. So they're running it back on defense for the most part. Dennis Allen is still the head coach, still the top guy on the defensive side of the ball for them. They're going to have a super competitive defense. Derek Carr is back on offense, but we have a Shanahanian offensive coordinator coming in, Clint Kubiak, son of Gary Kubiak. So you can expect, in my opinion, an uptick in the offensive efficiency from them. I think he's going to do a good job coming over from San Francisco and using the pieces that the Saints currently have and potentially adding some guys in the draft. I think specifically at tackle, we're going to talk about that, but the skill position talent is fantastic, both when you talk about wide receiver, running back, tight end as well. There's plenty of talent in that room. Interior offensive line looks pretty awesome right now. Tackle, though, as I mentioned, Ryan Ramczyk not looking good with his recovery from knee surgery. Trevor Penning has not proved to be a quality starting left tackle. You might want to take 2 tackles early in this class. Fortunately for the New Orleans Saints, this is a very good class to need tackles. Like, this is one of the best tackle classes I've seen in a long time. On defense, team is looking really solid. They dropped Chase Young into the mix. I like that addition. Willie Gay at linebacker comes over from the Kansas City Chiefs. Maybe you want to add some more secondary depth. I think you could probably use another defensive tackle potentially. Maybe some help to plug up the interior. But overall, the defense is looking solid in New Orleans. But yeah, this should be a better offense in 2024. If they can take care of the tackle spots early in the draft, I think this is a team that should compete to make the playoffs. Are they a Super Bowl contending team? Are they even a multiple playoff win team? I wouldn't feel comfortable saying that, quite frankly, but we're going to try to help them get there with this mock draft. They do still have $8 million in cap space, could still have some activity on the free agent market in the second and third waves of free agency. Can't believe looking at their cap sheet, Taysom Hill is their second biggest cap hit, but I digress. Still a fun offensive player, no doubt about it. They have 9 total draft picks. The first one is at 14. They also have a second round pick, but no third or fourth rounders. Leaves a huge gap between 14 and the next pick. You can bet I'm going to look to get back into that range at least once with some trades here because there's just way too many late day 3 picks in my opinion. But let's go ahead and get this thing kicked off. At 14 overall, Talise Fuaga makes a lot of sense to me. In my opinion, he is the best run blocker at tackle in the class. He's technically refined. He blows people off the ball. He's got tremendous power and explosiveness. In a Shanahan offense, I think he'll be just fine in pass protection, where he is advanced technically, but I don't think he has the best feet for it overall out on an island at tackle. Still awesome player to come in and lock down the right tackle spot for you if Ryan Ramczyk cannot get back. Then in the second round, we're looking to trade back twice, which is going to help us get back into that third and fourth round range. Trade 45 to the Steelers for 51 and 98. So you're keeping a second round pick, you're just moving down a little bit and acquiring a late third, a compensatory pick there. Then trade back from 51 to 63 with San Francisco, and you get 63, obviously, 124, which is a fourth round pick, and 211. So we basically move back from 45 to 63, acquire a third, fourth, and sixth round pick. I love the moves there. And then at 63 overall, Roger Rosengarten, he played right tackle to protect Michael Penix's blind side at Washington. I think he can play left and right tackle. So I think you bring him in to compete with Trevor Penning over on the left side. I think he would probably win that job because he's much more technically refined. He's not as wild out there. He's got the length. He's got the athleticism that you're looking for. He's got a ton of experience playing tackle at a high level. Now you have your future and present bookend tackles, regardless of what happens with Ryan Ramczyk, regardless of if Trevor Penning shows any signs of development. I think both of these guys can come in and start right away for you and play at a higher level than probably a lot of what you've seen over the last couple of years, especially at left tackle. At 98, Dwayne Carter, I think, rounds out the interior of the defensive line very well out of Duke. You have some quality guys up front, but Carter gives you beef. He's a guy that wins with natural leverage, length, short area quickness, power. He can help you against the run and the pass. I just really like the fit there as a guy who will help you on all three downs, take a lot of reps for you, team captain at Duke for a long time. At 124, one of these picks we acquired here, Renardo Green out of Florida State is just too good of a fit to leave on the board here. There's a prospect I think should easily go on day 2 of the draft. There's just not a lot of buzz on him right now, and he's a perfect fit because he plays press man coverage. He's physical. He's aggressive. He's a guy that plays like a Saints cornerback needs to play, and I think that he can potentially be a starter down the road for the Saints. I don't think you're paying Marshawn Lattimore forever. Could be wrong there, but I do like Renardo Green's fit in that defense. And then we're going to trade up here. I know we acquired a 6th round pick earlier. We don't need all the 5th and 6th round picks that we have here, in my opinion. Still got plenty of draft capital. So you trade up to 133. You give up 2 of those 5th round picks and a 6th round pick to land safety Malik Mustafa. This is an Energizer bunny. He is insanely explosive. He's like a heat-seeking missile out there at safety. I want to add him to the mix, have him learn from the Honey Badger out there, right? I love that fit. I know you do have some competition at safety, but Malik Mustafa can come in and I think lock down that job, compete at a high level early on. At 170, Nelson Caesar, he's just a good fit in my opinion. He's big, strong, with good length, bag of pass rush moves, an inside counter. Edge rusher out of Houston was very productive there. I like him a lot if you're talking about trying to land a late round edge rusher. At 175, wide receiver Jalen Coker out of Holy Cross. Not the fastest dude, but super nuanced. Multiple effective releases off the line of scrimmage. Big time vertical leaper. Great size and catch radius. Does not drop the ball at all. He's always attacking the football away from his frame. And so you talk about adding him to the mix with a bunch of guys right now that have a lot of speed. He's another guy that can get vertical down the field, but I think can also do some more underneath and intermediate and move the chains type things for you. Love adding him to that wide receiver room. At 199, Sataoa Laumea, the guard from Utah. He's an ass kicker in the run game. I think they might be able to develop him into a starter in this Shanahan rushing scheme. Or a swing guy at the very worst, but I really like that fit there as well. And then at 211, running back Tyrone Tracy out of Purdue. Inject some juice at the running back spot. I know you have some very good players already, Alvin Kamara, Jamal Williams, but I think this is a guy that could potentially have a really nice role in a Shanahan-style offense. You can use him in a variety of ways as a receiver, as a running back, and just get him the ball in space. At 239 overall, another super underrated cornerback prospect, DeAndre Prince out of Ole Miss. He's a super athlete with good size, decent length, very aggressive in coverage, and physical against the run. He's just another good fit for this Saints defense. So in this draft, you protect Derek Carr with two offensive tackles, right, that come in here, and I think they're ready to start from day one with their experience, with their technical refinement, in Talise Fuaga and Roger Rosengarten. We beef up that defensive line just a little bit, add 2 cornerbacks who can compete to start down the road. Again, I don't think Marshawn Lattimore is playing in New Orleans forever. Could be wrong there. I absolutely love the Malik Mustafa fit. And then we just add some guys that present value and depth later on in the draft. If you're a Saints fan, I would love to know what you think about this one. Drop a comment in the comment section below. If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Y'all have a good one.